Hey everybody, welcome to Everyday Journey. Today we're going to build this nice little set of shelves. It's easy to do and it's using scrap crate material, so let's see how it goes. So first thing we got to do is raise up the table saw height to just over the height of the board, and then we'll go ahead and cut out our pieces. Here I'm building the two end pieces and the middle piece. My board itself is 7 inches wide. So I just made these, went ahead and squared them off at 7 inches so they'd be nice and square. So then I took the length of my board, decided on what I thought I'd be able to use, went ahead and cut 2 lengths out of it. I believe they're 34 inches. Here I'm just lining them up so I can mark the next one and spin it around so the mark will be by my blade. Go ahead and cut off the end. Once everything's cut, just go through and sand it all up. Any of the sides that would actually be facing you, I'd go ahead and sand. Here's one side, here's the other side, and then I flip each piece up and sand the end that will actually be facing you. The part that's against the wall and the part that would be against the other two boards, there's no need, but look at how good this wood looks. This is just crate lumber. We tear them apart every day at work and throw it away. I'm just trying to find a good use for it. Yeah, there are some defects. There are some wormholes, nail holes, things like that. But for a good general purpose shelf, works out all right. Here we're just taking a wet cloth and just wipe it all down, get all the excess sawdust off of it. And at the same time, it lets you see what the grain pattern is in your wood. That way you can choose which piece you want to put on top, because that one, obviously you want the nicest one to be up there. So once that's all done, we just, well, look at this. This is actually what it looks like. You can't really complain about it. This looks really nice. You can make some really nice pieces out of this. Once everything's been wiped down and it's clean, you just set it all up and do a dry fit. Figure out where you want everything to be. Make sure that you got the ends that are the nicest ends facing out, so that you'll have it all set up in the proper way. All the pieces, the nicest ends showing. Once we've determined everything's going to fit, go ahead and start pulling it back apart. We get it ready to set up and drill some pilot holes so that our screws don't split our wood. So we need to mark it a little bit better. I just had it marked on the very end for the length. Now we flip the board down, and we're going to continue that down and put our driller holes equally throughout. I think I put this one at 1 inch, and then 3.5 inches, and then I think it's 6 inches, so that we had nice straight lines for whenever we put our screws in. I'm going to use screws on this because I actually prefer that kind of look. But if you wanted to, you could always use some nails. Smaller the better. That way you can actually make this thing look as nice as possible. So here I'm just actually using the board that I just drilled the holes in. We'll use it as a template. So we'll line up the other one and put it on the bottom, of course, and then go ahead and one by one drill through the holes we already drilled on into the board that needs the holes drilled through it also. So they should line up perfectly and hopefully be no trouble at all. And now once we've got our pilot holes drilled, we just go ahead and set everything back up, basically doing the dry fit again, and use those holes to drill through into the actual shelves, or the sections that go on each end and in the middle, and that way we've got our pilot holes all the way through. And then we go ahead and glue everything up and go ahead and put our screws in. We can kind of clamp everything in place as we go, and hopefully that'll along with the screws will hold it as good as we need it to. Then we just wait for it to dry, and we just got to do whatever we need to do to hang it on the wall. So in my case, I'm actually going to come in later and put in some little routed holes, so that I can just put screws up on the wall and then just put the shelf in the holes, or put the nails or screws in the wall, and put those into the back of the shelf, the holes that I routed out, and then just kind of slide it down. It should stay just fine. You can always go ahead and get some hangers that'll just nail to the back of it. Sometimes that's easier. Or you could always just figure out a way to actually screw it to the wall if you really wanted to. But I think the way I'm going to do it will look the nicest and keep it to where you can't see any hardware sticking out anywhere. So you can do it how you like, but as you can see, this thing's turning out pretty well. Now, for those who actually paid attention through this and noticed the mistake that I had, you can see that the middle shelf, the middle divider there, that actually is not exactly center. I don't know what I did along the way, somewhere in my measurements, but I think I got it 1 inch off from center. So later, I actually go in here and because I didn't want to drill any more holes into the very middle of it and have those showing, I actually went through and cut off the end and then moved the end piece in by 1 inch on the long side. That way both sides were equal again. It was a mistake on my part, but it was a fairly easy fix. So hopefully you guys didn't watch and do everything that I did, or else you might have done the same. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. As always, leave me some comments. Tell me what you'd like me to do in the future, and I'll try my best to see what I can do. So you guys take care.